Big Block Bob here. Getting ready for race week. We are supposed to leave in 3 days, and we don't even have an engine in the car right now. Let me tell you why. I was trying to get the maximum performance out of my car, and I noticed that the 60-foot time was kind of lazy, and I had a locked out distributor, an MSD 85501, and I thought, well, maybe there's something wrong with it. Maybe the magnetic pickup or something's screwy. So I went back to a ready run distributor, and for whatever reason, even though when you drop the distributor in, it kind of clonks when you miss it, and then it drops all the way on the shaft like normal when you get it right. So everything seemed okay. I dropped in, I set the timing, and had my kid in the car running the throttle so I could watch the timing light out front. And then I went for a test drive, and within 5 or 8 minutes of the drive, I noticed the rockers were getting noisy, and I looked down and I have no oil pressure. So I don't know if that was from the minute we started the car to do the timing adjustment, if it happened at some other point. I don't know why all of a sudden it was worn to the point that it wouldn't engage all the way. It's just the weirdest, craziestness I've ever experienced. So I went ahead and pulled the engine. I mean, that's all I could do. I looked at the oil, looked at the filter. You know, I tried to fool around with the gears on the ready run, thinking that I have to have that distributor working in order to have the best 60 foot, the best 330, and to make my car as competitive as possible for Rocky Mountain and any other event I do for that matter. So, anyway, the engine's out. Went to Fessler Racing Engines, and Shane, as always, is a stud and rock star in my opinion. We tore it down. My son Bobby helped. Shane looked everything over. We came up with a game plan. We're going to do some bearings on it. I think everything else, we looked at the cam bearings, we had the cam out, and it's all right. So we're going to put some bearings in it, and we're going to send it. I am fortunate to have a friend, Jason, who's going to let me use the trailer to get out to Colorado. So worst case scenario, somewhere in race week I have some problems, I can at least go back and bring it home and not have to do the Fowler, Colorado swap that I did in 2016 to get home. So I was almost prepared to drive to Indianapolis to pick up a short block if mine needed a crank turn, because you can't get a crank turned in this town, and probably under a week, really. I don't know. I mean, I probably could have had a new one overnighted faster than I could get one turned around. So crazy times. Crazy times. So tonight, I was just trying to do a couple odds and ends that I could do without the engine in. I've got a new Holley fuel pump to run the nitrous, and then if I really want to go carburetor and go all out, I have the ability to run the carburetor off a 2-gallon cell with some race fuel, and the engine's 11-to-1 now, so it may like that. We'll see. Maybe an all-out effort deal in the fall when the weather turns for me. We can get that somewhere in the 9 seconds here, NA, and set a personal best in that capacity. So stay tuned. I'm going to have a couple more of these little videos where I just chit-chat about what the hell's going on, because right now everything's going on. And this usually the race week is what kicks your butt. I'm getting my butt kicked before I even get there, so hopefully that goes smooth, and this was the worst of my experience this year. We'll see. Again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.